For serious YouTubers, save time and money with TubeBuddy, the premier tool used at geekoutdoors.com. Get more done today by checking out the affiliate link in the description area below. Hey, welcome to another episode of geekoutdoors.com. On my continuing Openshot tutorial series, today I'm going to be showing you how to create subtitles for your videos. So you can use it to either translate things on your videos, or you can use it for closed captioning as well. Now, if you have not seen my Openshot tutorial series, be sure to check out my playlist in the description area below. Now, on a previous episode, I did do one on titles and text. And this one for subtitles is really going to take it to another level, I would say. And it's pretty complex. You know, it's not really something that's easy. Okay. And so I got this idea from one of my viewers, Donna. She asked me a question about adding subtitles. And I realized I've never done that for videos before. And so what I'm showing you here is what I have learned so far on how to do it on Openshot. And you could apply this to other video editors as well. However, if you do have better methods, be sure to leave that in the comments area. And if I do learn better ways of adding subtitles, then I'll go ahead and make an update to it. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is something like this, where I got subtitles, as you can see there. Yeah, so exactly what you expect. It looks pretty simple, but to be honest with you, that took me about 2 hours to do that. And so there is a learning curve if you've never done it before, but the whole idea is that you want to make sure you transcribe correctly the text that you have during the time that you have in the video. Okay, and that's where it's going to take a lot of time. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, and so what I would recommend you do is, once you load your video in Openshot, the first thing I would do is go to your video clip, right click, go to display, and do show waveform. So what that would do is it will show the actual volume and audio in your video so that you know where things start and also where things kind of stop. Okay, and so from there you kind of want to see where you want to put each, I would say, subtitle. Okay, and so you really don't want a whole bunch of text. Okay, you know, with any subtitles they only have one line, and they do that for a reason. And so when you have it like this, you know, you're gonna have to separate each one manually. Okay, and so you definitely want to listen to your video, see what you say, and then find a good point where you could stop. Okay, and then mark that. Okay, so the way to do that in Openshot is you can use this marker tool right here. So say you want to start right here, add a marker, and then wherever you want the text, the subtitle in, add another marker right there so that you know where to start and stop. Okay, and what I also recommend is you actually put the actual text in a text file. Okay, because this will come in handy later when you're actually going to be creating the text title files inside Openshot itself, and you'll see what I mean there. Okay, and another thing that I recommend you do is try to zoom in as close as possible. This is zoomed in pretty far, and so typically in Openshot it'll be like something like this, and that's kind of hard because you really want to get in close detail. So just zoom in as close as you can. Okay, and also another thing you want to do is turn off this snapping tool. This is on by default, but the problem with doing this is whenever you have your subtitles, if they're so close and they snap together, it'll have a transition. Okay, and so you don't want that, to where when your subtitles, you just want it to pop up. You don't want it to transition like you had your old text and then you have your new text. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So the snapping tool is on, right? So if I take this, see, now it automatically snaps to the next closest clip. So when I press play, you see there is a slight transition where it would like kind of fade over. See right there where the text, it's overlapping because it still had, you know, the old text on it. So you don't want that. You want a little bit of separation. So that's why I turned off the snapping tool. So let me undo that, and so take off the snapping. So that's something that I learned when I was actually doing this. So then they have this nice, you know, non-transition, so the next text comes and it doesn't overlay what was just previously there. Okay, so obviously I've already created my different subtitle text, okay? But I'm gonna do it from scratch, and I'm gonna show you how that's done. So let me remove these. And most of my time trying to figure this out, why it took so long, because it just has a high learning curve. Because doing this, it's not a simple method. I'm pretty sure there's really simple methods out there, but at least from what I know and within Openshot, it wasn't easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the title. Go here, go to title. Now you have many default titles that you can use, but the one I'm going to use is footer. Okay, there's multiple footers, but I'm going to use footer 1. Okay, so let me show you how this looks by default. Now you can name the file name whatever you want. You could change this later. Let's go just leave that as test1. Okay, and this is where you actually put your text. And this is why I said it's important that you go ahead and put your actual text out in a text file, so then it's easy for you to just copy and paste. Okay, so as you can see, it's already there, and I'm gonna leave it the way it is, and then we're gonna come back and edit this. Okay, so great, there is your file, and this is actually a vector file, and we'll actually be using Inkscape to do more advanced editing, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so then you just pull this down here. Now the thing is, if you notice, the text goes all the way to, like, I think the default duration is 10 seconds. So what you can do is you could actually minimize that, the duration. Let me see on the properties right there, N. See, you could actually reduce it. Let's just say I want it down to 3 seconds, okay? And it'll bring it down, okay? But if you notice where my markers are, it's not exactly there. Now you can try to play around with the different start and end, but you know, honestly, that took me too long. And so what I did was I just go ahead and manually adjust it. Okay, and I found that a lot easier for me. And so if you press play, there's your subtitles, but obviously it doesn't look great and the text is cut off. Okay, and this is where a lot of the complexity comes in, besides you actually having to transcribe your own text. So let me remove that. So here you could right click, you could edit the title. Okay, so one way you could do it is go here to change the font. Okay, but it's a little buggy, and you'll see what I mean. So I want this to be Arial font. Okay, I want it to be regular, and the thing is, I want my whole text to fit in there. So I'm gonna try to use the font of 6. That might sound like it's small, but you see what I mean. So when I say okay, see, it still doesn't fit. Okay, so even if I try a different font, it still does not fit. Okay, and I can't go any lower than that. Okay, so I think there's a bug or something there. Okay, and so that just doesn't look good. And you could also change stuff like the text color, which we will change. I would not recommend you change the text color to white right now, because when you bring this into the advanced editor, which is Inkscape, you can't see your text. Okay, so just leave it as blue for now whenever you're editing. You could also change the background color, but I would leave that alone. So in order to make this look right, go to advanced editor, and this one took me quite a while. Okay, so let's expand this. This is actually Inkscape, which is a vector graphics tool, and so this is where you could do more advanced stuff, and this is specifically built for vector graphics and stuff. Okay, and so, you know, obviously it doesn't fit. Okay, and it's not the font I want, but let's go ahead and click on here, and what you can do is, see, you can see your text right there. You could change the font. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is change the font to Arial. Okay, and obviously I want all of this to fit. Okay, so there's Arial. I want it regular, and then the font size, well, let's apply this first, just make sure it changes. Okay, look, it changed it, but it's too small. I want to make that bigger. So the weird thing with Inkscape is you have to actually click on the text first. You could change the font size, then apply. But see, if you try to apply a different size, it won't let you do it unless you click inside again, which is just kind of weird. Okay, and so you could also put in your own sizes. Okay, say you wanted to manually put in a size, so there's a bigger size. Okay, but I have to click on here again, and this took me a long time to figure this out. Okay, so let's just say that's a good enough size for me, okay? And another thing is there's this thing called stroke. Okay, so you might not be able to see it, but the default style that this footer one had, it adds like a border around it. And so it kind of makes it look like it's bold. Okay, and I don't want that. And so let's go ahead and fix that right now. So just click on right here, stroke. And see the stroke style, there is a width. So there is like a width around the text. And I don't want that. Just double click here, 0, and then enter. Okay, so now there won't be any type of bold type look whenever you finish with this. Okay, and so let's go ahead and close that, and let's close this, and it'll ask you to save it. Yes, and so now this should be smaller and it should fit. Okay, so let's go ahead and test that out again. Okay, and I'm doing this really quick, so let's press play. Boom, great, the text is there, but I don't like it in blue, but at least you know that it'll fit and the font looks good. Okay, so let's remove this again. Okay, and so let's edit title again, and let's make the text color. Now you can make it white. So anytime you actually want to go to advanced editor, make sure your text font is your text color is not white, otherwise you will not be able to see your text. Okay, so let me show you an example. See, I can't see my text. Not good. So save it, go here, move it down here. Okay, great. Now you press play. See, that looks a lot better, right? So now you're happy with this, right? Make sure you save it. And now you want to create the next line of text, but at the same time you don't want to recreate everything all over again. Well, what you could do is just duplicate this, and it'll have the same style that you already created, and so you don't have to go back and do all that manual change. And then you put in your text. Okay, and let's call this test 2. Then you save it. Okay, then let's go ahead and move this right here, and see, when you don't have this snapping, it won't try to connect these two clips together. Okay, so you have a little bit of separation. Okay, then obviously I'll move this down here where my markers are, and like I said, all that initial work you did to put the markers, translate the text, that's going to take you time. Okay, so if you had a long video, it might take hours. Okay, so let's press play again.
And welcome to another episode of Geek.
Okay, see, looks great. And let's add the final bit of text. Okay, let's duplicate this again, and then I'm gonna add this one. And it's a lot of trial and error to get the text the size you want and where you want it. You'll see what I mean. So let's go ahead and add this here. Let's go ahead and call this test 3. Save. So this one might not fit exactly. Okay, and I know because I've tried it. Okay, so look, see that one, it goes beyond. So let me scroll out a little bit. Let me scale out. That's way beyond my marker. Let me leave that there. So as you can see, it goes way beyond. So that's not what I want. And so obviously I can't have the whole line in there. And so that's why it's important that you have all your text written out on a text file. And so I originally already had it separated, but you could go back here. And what you can do is say, for example, hey, you know what? I want to put this whole line in this one thing. Okay, you could also go in. Let me delete this. You could also go in and, just like the other things, just edit the title. And if you are going to bring it to advanced editor, which is what I recommend, make sure and change the color font to blue, so, or some dark color so you could see it. So the problem is it's cutting it off right at the description, you see, so you don't get this last line. So what you can do is go to advanced editor. See, it cuts it off. Let me minimize that, and then let's go ahead and go back to this text thing. So let's go ahead and reduce the font from 56 to something like 48. Okay, then you could go back here See, it fits. Great. So let's make that a little bit bigger. I think we can make that a little bit bigger. So let's make that 51. Apply. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so it'll fit. Just move this over just a little bit. Okay, so close that. Save. See, now everything fits. Change that to white. Save. And let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer. Take our text right here. And then move that right here. And now let's check this out. Okay, let's see if this looks like it's subtitled correctly. Okay, so all right, looks good.
On a previous episode, I did my
Great.
first setup tour, and if you haven't seen that, I will leave it in the description below. But one of the things
Perfect. So as you can see there, I know it made it look easy, but like I said, it took me quite a while to figure this out. But that is how you add subtitles in Openshot. It is a long process, but if you kind of follow these like steps right here, I think you'll be able to get all your videos subtitled correctly. And obviously, if you're doing this for, for different languages or for closed captioning, the process would be the same. And as I did say earlier, if I do find better ways of doing this, I will make an updated video. So if you did have any other thoughts on this, be sure to leave it in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, leave a like and subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you could do that at patreon.com/Geek Outdoors. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com. And I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.